The Rio Cinema is located in the city center, right in front of the great market that serves the population of Yamena every day. This is a colorful and chaotic market, which ran out of supplies during the war, but today is an exuberant place since peace has been established in the country. Malik is André's workmate at the Rio Cinema and also his best friend. He's in charge of repairing damaged films and keeping material in the best possible condition. For decades, these films have crossed Africa from one end to the other, rented from one country to another, worn out along the continent, and transported by motorbike, mule, or train towards any place where a projector may be found.
Hello, Malik. I'm here.
Hello. What have you brought today?
Today, you'll see one of those Chinese films that you like so much. Look how this fellow flies when giving a kick.
The Rio Cinema is the only one left in Chad that has a projector. The rest have already changed to video. These projectors, which were brought by the French, are very old. And my grandfather, who was the first owner of the cinema, told me that they were the first projectors manufactured in Europe. Some time ago, people from the United States came here to buy them for a museum. But we did not sell them, because if we did sell them, the Rio Cinema would disappear forever. During the war, films were not shown here, but it was used as a place of entertainment for the soldiers. They came here to play cards and talk before going to fight. Most of them never came back. Nowadays, my family is making strong efforts to keep it open, but they have a lot of problems.
During the last years of French colonial times, Chad was one of the African countries where the cinema made the most impact. In the city of Yamena, called Port Lamy at the time, new cinemas projecting the latest movie hits were established. Apart from the Rio Cinema, the Scheherazade, the Étoile, and the Normandie movie halls appeared. The Normandie was for the white and local upper classes. However, anyone could go to the Rio or Scheherazade cinemas. The arrival of movies in Chad was considered a historical milestone, which equally affected white people as well as the Black, Muslim, and Christian communities. The new white magic of the movies was the sole connection in a country marked by pain and suffering.
The first movie made by a Chad director was shot in 1962. However, it was not produced in Chad, but in Paris. When the African countries obtained independence in the 60s, General de Gaulle invited all French-speaking chiefs of state to visit France. In 1962, it was the turn of Tomball Bey. I was in Paris studying at the School of Film at that time when the president asked me to produce a film about his visit. I did it, and it was soon shown in a Parisian cinema. This is how Chad-produced movies came about.
Français qui m'écouterez, écoutez au-delà de ces mots le grand bruit de tam-tam et de joie qui vous vient de la place. Français, vous avez cru longtemps que l'on ferait la fraternité des hommes. Mais vous n'étiez pas...
Until Edouard Saïb appeared on the scene, all movie productions made in or about Chad had been filmed by European directors, mainly French directors. Independence and the first years of self-government became an inexhaustible source of resources.
We shot in 35 millimeters. We began producing documentaries and newsreels. We did not see the material we were shooting. The unexposed film was sent to Paris every Saturday, where it was developed and edited. I directed many documentaries during that time. One of them was Largo, a 15-minute black and white film. We also produced Lake Chad, River Chadi, and The Third Day, a fiction film for which I was granted 4 important awards abroad.
J'ai obtenu un Grand Prix au Festival de Locarno en Suisse italienne. J'ai obtenu un Grand Prix au Festival de Tashkent en Union soviétique. J'ai obtenu un Grand Prix au Festival de Dinard en France. Et j'ai obtenu un prix à la télévision britannique. Et ces 4 bobines, on les distribuait gratuitement.
In the city, films were shown at the cinemas. But in small areas and provinces, we watched them in our cars, which was known as mobile cinema. Cars equipped with a generator and a projector.
Then the war began, and all the cinemas closed down. The Normandie, the symbol of those happy years of Chad cinema, was destroyed by a bomb and never rebuilt. In spite of all this, movies are still alive in Chad. The Rio Cinema still stands like an old gladiator, and the big cinemas have been replaced by many video session clubs. Casablanca is no longer projected, nor Edouard Saïb's documentaries, but instead we watch Rambo or films produced in Bombay. Thus, movies are still alive, surviving war, and always acting as a remedy for the disease of conflict.
Chad, dear sir, is a beautiful country. If today, right now, someone proposed a film project in New York or one in the northern lakes of Chad, I would not hesitate. I would go to the lakes and not to New York. I'm not interested in New York. What really interests me is my country.
Adun's is the sole private production company in Chad. Currently, Adun is shooting a story about the elimination of the war material that remained dispersed throughout the country after the confrontations had ended.
Comment vas-tu? Ça va? Ça très bien.
No, I have not finished my work yet. In a couple of days, I will travel to the north to finish it. I have been working for several weeks on a report about the armaments that the disputing parties have left behind as they withdraw during the war. Throughout the country, there are thousands of mines and unexploded bombs, which cause the deaths of thousands of people every year.
Qui va là-bas, la deuxième balle, va, André.